Hello and welcome to John with Jack. I'm Jack. How's everybody doing tonight? Joining me tonight is Michael Dow and Hunter and the Pun King.
The Czar of Zings.
I brought a dwarf. Say hi.
Hi.
Oh, nice. Hi.
Show me your ex.
A dwarf or a halfling?
Oh,
They're very similar.
Nice. Nice.
That's a beautiful axe you have there.
It is probably the greatest axe I have. It's a pallet axe. It's for ripping apart pallets. All right, my turn.
It is a great axe. If not in stature, in spirit. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's exciting episode of John with Jack, where, well, I brought you here this evening to talk about the upcoming greatest streaming event known to mankind. Well, I mean, you know, our corner of mankind at least. Gobstein II. Now,
Ooh, nice.
Some of you may remember Gobstein I, which was this little event that we ran about this time last year. It was actually in March or might have been April last year. I can't remember. It was a month-long Braunstein-style event, and it was a rousing success. We raised about $4,000, close to, I'd have to look up the exact numbers, but I think it was 3,700 something all total. And
Wow.
for a group, a handful of people who had no social media footprint at all, I think that was pretty good. You know, we did a lot of good stuff. And Michael, I remember both you and Hunter actually were big contributors to this. You were donors who affected things in the
Little Wolf Riders.
Yeah. Not as rich this year, so we'll see how much I can donate.
Well,
but you know.
well, here's the thing. That's part of what tonight is not just to talk about and promote the event, but to brainstorm the form it is going to take, because it is not taking the form it took last year. I can assure you that. Last year, I had 8 players. And it was 3 weeks of kind of doing war games and processing. I said, okay, you can do 3 actions a day. Send me your 3 actions. I'll process them at night like a DM and stuff like that. And we'll do it kind of like a play by turn sort of thing,
Right.
day by day. And we're trying to culminate everything in this battle. And it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare on a variety of levels. Not the least of which, probably the first and foremost one, was just I chose Shadow Dark as the system of choice, and Shadow Dark has no rules of any type, even vaguely like it. Welcome, DJ. Glad to see you, sir. Oh, and always, pardon me. Good evening, Cyrus, my friend. Heckle away, sir. Heckle away. And last year, choosing Shadow Dark, there were no domain kind of rules at all. I ended up actually, and no mass combat. I actually picked Hell March since that had come out recently to serve as the mass combat rules. That was not a good fit for what I needed, because that is much more of a tactical game where you're moving things around on the board and making serious decisions. But I didn't want to do that, and I couldn't schedule individual games with players. Scheduling nightmare, things couldn't happen in a timely fashion. So,
you know what does have some mass combat rules?
Well, that leads us to this year's choice for Gobstein II, Horde Wars Advanced. And I have reached out to DM Blackwall, for his blessing to do this. And he hasn't responded officially. I did send him a link for tonight at the last minute. I don't know that he can make it. I haven't heard anything back from him, but I will be having him on as a repeat guest soon to talk about not just using Horde Wars for Gobstein, but also for talking about dropship. Yeah, it's so everybody I know who's a fan of Horde Wars is excited for dropship. Hands down, especially if you know the history, because as Todd was telling me in our first interview, that the whole thing started with dropship first, and then it got backburnered for Horde Wars, and that came out first.
Right.
So it's really awesome.
Right. And dropship, same core mechanics, just more to it that makes it cooler.
Yep.
And set in space as a military combat.
I have merely scanned some of the play reports. I mean, I haven't even actually looked at the PDF if that's come out already. I know I have pre-ordered.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I pre-ordered the book, and I didn't do the both, so I don't have the PDF.
Yeah, I got the
but,
PDF.
Like, we did it.
I'm going to get the book later on. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get because I couldn't afford it right now. So I'll have to unfortunately get it full price later on when I can't afford it.
Well,
yeah, it looks cool. I mean, we just interviewed him, and we're actually doing a game. Ultra's gonna get in, right? Didn't you volunteer?
Yes.
So if you want in, it's May 13th at something o'clock. I'll have to look, but we're doing a like a live play demo, and Todd's running it to really showcase it, like right before it drops.
I've been on the Horde Wars Discord server because we used to have a Gilded, and then Gilded got shut down. So now we're on on Discord now, and we've been doing about a monthly drop ship whenever he's not too busy. That I've been a part of for a while. I'm playing a heavy worlder, heavy paladin, and then I got a ranger psychic character I made to do some solo stuff with eventually when I get around to it. And so, I'll just end up making a third character to do in this one. See, just messing around with some of the stuff because that's one of my things I loved about Horde, especially
I'm
is
gonna
character
have to
creation.
download a pre-gen
now,
because I won't have the PDF.
I have only done a little bit of solo of Horde Wars before. As a matter of fact, Hunter and we were planning a little Horde Wars action with Scudder for Mike that we couldn't break through the scheduling. Defeat the scheduling boss to finalize it,
right.
We were TPK'd by scheduling conflicts.
Scheduling boss. Yeah, that's like Calarath Saturday, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. And again, see, that might be part of the problem because it's not Saturday morning; it's Sunday morning.
Oh, Sunday morning at 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, which is the getting up at 5 and making coffee and pants. I guess I don't need pants, but I need a shirt.
Saturday at 4 a.m. to meet my Sunday 6 a.m. game. That might be stretching things a bit, but that's you and how you do your weekends.
No, Saturday's a CNC game
Michael,
that I'm supposed
if I can get up at 3:30 throughout the week to go to work, you can get up at 6 o'clock to play a game.
Hey, I get up at 4 to go to work. Monday.
That's earning money.
But like that's no, I'll make it eventually.
He thought 6 a.m. was a good time, and then it dawned on him.
Ah, yes,
yes,
right. First one. Right. There we go.
Right.
Hold up.
I love it.
Let me use I'll use my my HP tracker as the punking counter for the stream.
Yes.
So, Gobstein.
You're
doing something different. It's not a Bronstein. It's not play by post. It's
so my idea for this time around is to have, say, a 3-week run up of shite posting on the internet of the players.
Okay.
And having it culminate in a streaming game Saturday, Sunday, a big session thing. The premise is very close to one of the default scenarios right here in Horde Wars. Is defending a location against a goblin onslaught. And the idea is basically to have a marathon game session of Horde Wars with the players, each playing a hero rolled up according to the rules. And how long can they last against the continuous horde of goblins that myself and Hunter are going to throw at them?
And are they going to be in some kind of fort, some kind of?
I think so. We want to give them some sort of a wall or something, and that's exactly what we're here to discuss. That is as formulated as the idea is so far, and that's what I want. I want to give them a defendable location, like stand at the wall, a classic Helm's Deep sort of situation for our players to make it a
And are they going to be able to be together, or are they going to be in like different areas?
All together.
Defending the door.
Everybody's going to be on the same side, so that way it's a
same side. But are they going to be in the same place? Like, are they going to be a party standing on the wall, or is
Well,
one going to be guarding this
That's
door,
a good question.
and one's going to be
If
guarding
it's a castle,
from
are they being
sappers
assaulted
underneath?
on more than one side? Is that part of what they have to do and figure out? Right. This is all the stuff that we're here to brainstorm and answer, because all of those ideas have possibilities.
So So I don't know if you've looked like towards the back where it gets into like the entire actual setting that Todd made, that Blackwall made for this world.
Yes, I love the setting actually.
Yeah, but if you look at just the main map that shows just the Grimstead, I guess like I don't know, nation. I don't know if it's country or just the area of Grimstead, but there's a place in there called Fireheart Keep.
Give me a page number.
Page, it'll be 250.
The main map?
250.
250. Okay, that's farther back.
250.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. There's down the bottom. There's a place called Fireheart Keep in there. So I didn't know if you had thought about like. So my thought process is if you hadn't picked out a place, like have them station at Fireheart Keep, and the goblins are just swarming out through the forest, and then if you want to, you can throw the Jakarans at them from the other side, because the other side is the desert nation of the Jakarans.
Well then.
Yeah.
Well then, let's think about that. Okay, so yes to goblins, and I like the placement in there. And maybe we could get Blackwall to do a guest appearance as Lord Stephanos, because I was just reading the entry on that real quick. That would be kind of cool. But guard the sewers. Always guard the sewers.
Always guard the sewers.
And now that is not only true, we know from the previous Gobstein, because Brewski was the winner of the previous Gobstein. He's the only one who got a certified player kill. I mean, player character kill. Not the player is alive to my knowledge. But through the sewers, he had goblins infiltrate the city of humans by night. And I was like, they're goblins. They're not going to be able to blend in, right? What are you going to do? As well, I'll hide in the sewers. And, so I have a handful, a half a dozen goblin assassins waiting in the sewers for an opportunity to get into the castle. And then he tried to escape through the sewers one day when things were looking at their worst. And he considered, I'm going to sneak out from the sewers and escape on a ship. So the goblin assassins got him on the way out.
And here's one of those goblins waiting for you.
There's a goblin.
Yep. That's going to be a fun one to run, because, like, you don't necessarily just have to throw them at the walls. You can have sappers digging under to collapse what they're on. You can have, will goblins use primitive siege weapons? Will they have some sort of fortifications?
I think that's where we're going to lean into the setting materials. What are goblins like in Horde Wars? I think they are much more the classic fantasy staple that we know and love as mass foot soldiers. And the whole point of Horde Wars is for one hero to be able to stand like 10-1 odds. Well, theoretically.
I will say you do have your typical, just your goblin grunts and your footmen just out there causing chaos. However, you do have
lots of goblins.
You do have like taskmasters and sorcerers that are in there to keep those goblins in line, and you even have goblin champions,
cannibals,
and
warriors, sneaks.
Yep, and don't forget, there's also always a goblin. Sorcerers. There's also a goblin king. If you're going to throw that in there,
the Goblin King.
Yeah.
So they're not all just grunty, attacky.
Yeah.
And I don't know how the system's set up. Obviously there's only one Goblin King, but like how? Yeah, this will be interesting. This will be cool. This will be fun to watch. Fun to play in.
Here's another thing. So of course, let me see if I can share a screen real quick through this restream craziness, because I want you guys to see the page of the previous Gobstein campaign.
There is a question I did have, because I was thinking about this earlier. are all the players just starting at level 1?
Aha! I have an idea for that. Hear me out. So you can see my screen at the moment. You can see that last year we
Right.
set we actually set a modest goal of like $1,000.
Right.
And blew right past that early on. Very good. And especially thank you to Harmony Ginger. I hope to get back on her stream to promote the second one, because she was at least half of what we accounted for last year. So $31.85, that's not bad. There are some other donations that came along with it from a couple other people who donated, one of which was a player in the game, Mr. Dwarf.
Nice.
Now, one of the things
I haven't heard from him in a minute. Is he still around?
Now, what's that?
I said I haven't heard from him in a minute. Is he still around? I used to see him in streams. I think I saw him on X.
I still see him on X fairly frequently. I have not spoken to him recently. I even meant to invite him tonight and didn't get
work.
His work has been super busy for him, like me, for the last year.
Yeah, I was about to say, OSR Dwarf is part of my Saturday show I do bi-weekly, and he's been really busy with work, is why he hasn't been able to do Saturday streams.
Yeah. So, miss that dude. I hope things are going great for him.
And he's still...
and as far as I know, though, he's still relatively active on the Red Room Discord server, so head on over there. There's a lot of good stuff always going on in that Discord. As particularly if you like Wretched. For my birthday, I splurged on myself and I bought the full Wretched bundle of PDFs from the Red Room. And let me tell you something, that stuff is awesome. Separate topic there. We'll get to that on a later thing. So now, looking at the screen here, one of the things that you can do is not just make a donation to me, right? There are various team members, so people can log on to St. Jude, create their own account, and then become an active team member of this campaign, right? So you see it there, and then back on the Gobstein fundraiser, the other guy who jumped in and donated some himself. He was one of our big donors from last year. Thank you, Mr. Beeson. And then he was a friend of Halflings, and he was again registered as a team member. So what I want the participants to do this year is to sign up as team members and solicit donations for the 3 weeks leading up.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
And then, then based upon the donations that they get leading up to it is what level they are at the time of the event.
Oh,
that's
nice.
Smart. I like that.
And if people want to donate to me directly, I make bigger, nastier monsters for the goblins. So it's going to be an endless stream of goblins no matter what. But if you want a bigger monster other than goblins or special goblins, throw Jack a donation and say what you want it to be.
Nice.
So what do you think?
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's grinding for it that way too.
Right. And that way everybody's character is tied to their donations. Everybody's contributing to the cause and stuff like that,
I just had something I just had a funny thought. So, but I don't know how to do this because the idea is because it's a D12 system. Every level up is 12 experience points. So I'm thinking, what if, but it may be too much because my first thought was every $1,200 you get a level. Was my original thought, but that may be too much of a goal.
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
I love that kind of aspirational thinking. You're thinking big, Hunter, and I applaud that.
So maybe maybe something small like $120.
Yeah, like 120. Because you can't just do $12 because it would kill you.
Is an XP. Now, there's other things. How are magic items equated in that system? Could someone, instead of giving you XP, I want you to have a magic sword? Are there point values or gold values assigned to magic items in Horde Wars?
There is not in gold. Okay, it's very much based on medieval Europe. So it is marks and crowns and pence.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's definitely
So the equivalent of gold pieces in Horde Wars is crowns, basically.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah,
But that is a good question.
They're
trying to
pretty
figure out, like,
expensive too.
yeah, like the magic items can get really expensive. But the fun part about magic items is
crowns and stuff like that. Yeah.
But what I love is
artifacts.
If you go to hold on. Sorry, go ahead, finish your thought. I had a thought and I lost it, so give me a second.
Oh, yeah, go right ahead. I'm sorry, I'm babbling because I'm excited about the ideas. But
so one of my favorite things about Horde Wars, if you go to page 218 in the book, is you have tables for all the treasure that you can find during your adventures. So instead of people getting just picking a random magic item from the book, I say there should be random rolls for what kind of like treasure or weapons they get. That's to start with.
Every $100 is a loot roll.
Yeah, you could
or whatever the dollar amount. What do you think it should be? $25.
Here's the thought process I have. Every $120 that a player can raise up, they can choose between either going up in level or getting a magic item. One or the other, not both.
Oh, good. Okay. I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to say I like that, Hunter. Let's make it $100. At $100, you either get the 12 XP to level up, or you get a magic item.
Okay. I was thinking that the 120 originally because it's like, it's just 12 with a 0 at the end of it. So I was kind of trying to play with that, but that's fair.
But 100 is nice and even.
Yeah. Since we're making it arbitrary anyway, and we get to control that.
So every $100. Oh, he keeps disappearing.
He has arrived back, and he is here to taunt us with his funny words.
Oh, hey, Dan. I just saw you said hi to me.
We had Dan. Oh, and Scooty.
Scooty popped in. Yeah, I don't know if he's still hanging out.
Good to see you, Mr. Scooter. For we are talking about Gobstein II. May you have a good day at work. I hope things go well for you, sir.
Mm-hmm. I was confused when he said good morning, but then I realized, he's halfway across the world. So
almost exactly 12 hours from me. Like depends on the
Yep.
And I'm so off my game right now. Just like the PBS fundraisers, the more you give, the better the thank you gift gets. Oh, yes.
That's right.
And the whole thing is meant to be entertainment. It's we want to make it as big a spectacle and have this big streaming event. And one of the things that was honestly a mistake last year is the participants were regular people. And that is good in some ways, bad in some ways. This year, I want the participants, I'm assuming 8 because I think I can still fit 8 in Restream. Right. I want those participants to be content creators themselves, somewhere. They significant followings. You guys both have like Twitter followings, right? That we can leverage, or YouTubers. So I want Scudder for Mike. I want Harmony Ginger. I want Thunder Moose. Those are the people that I want to participate in this because they've got an audience. They can promote us and get a lot of people out there.
I can see Dundermoose just trying to find any kind of loophole that he can try to exploit in the game to try to give him the advantage.
And man, I tell you what, anybody who ever misses a chance to play with Dundermoose, you're an idiot. Play with Dundermoose every chance you get. And he has not once betrayed me. I don't know why he's gotten that unfair advantage. He's been an awesome.
Yes, he hasn't betrayed you yet.
I'm here for you, Dunder. I'm here for you, Dunder. Yeah. With the Gobstein plans.
Yeah, the plans are to get you in there, Mike. That's the plans.
The pun king keeps coming and going. And I'm trying to come up with a good pun for it. So I field it to you guys. I'm like, he's in and out, in and out, in and out. It's like, I don't want to.
That's because he has a good pun and he's effing with you.
Yeah, I don't want to.
He's effing with you so he can drop in and drop the ultimate pun.
Oh, that's probably the case. Now, merch. Reese, How dare you? Restream he says Restream keeps crashing actually. Well, it did for me once, and I don't know why that would be. So the good news is that it seems to be very solid for Hunter and Michael tonight. So, they are ready to resume the show should I be dropped suddenly.
It's very true.
It's happened before. Remember, it suddenly became John with Ben one night, if I remember correctly.
I remember one time I was running I was running one of my streams. I had Harmony Ginger on as a guest, and she had she was only on for less than an hour because she had stuff she had to do, but she still wanted to do something. So, but middle of the stream, my phone, because it wasn't charging, it lost power, and my phone died midstream. So Harmony Ginger had to start talking while I was trying to get my phone back online.
And she did great. She just took right over and was like, "Okay, well, I guess this is my show now."
This is now my show. And I love that. I love that attitude. Now, merch, I would love to, and that's part of it. Well, I am much more facile with AI generation and stuff like that this time around. And Michael, you have also demonstrated yourself as quite the fair hand at it. I was actually hoping you might contribute time for t-shirt logo kind of just.
You can totally do that. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
and then I don't know if you have a fourth wall shop, but it's super easy
it's slop, but it's slop for charity. Who can complain? Right.
And you can make it good slop, and you can touch the slop up, right? If it's fun, it's fun, right? Yeah.
And so, and here's a funny thing. Technically, the last year's campaign is still open. I think we could just continue. We could just pick up where we left off.
As far as the donations wise with St. Jude's,
yeah, it looks like it's still active.
I'll have to figure out how to set up the thing so that way I can do it.
We'll debate. Another thing is that it would be cool to have a clean slate to start with and do it fresh from terms of donations, since we're tying in-game rewards to donations that are earned.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've never had good luck with is just straight up maps. Yeah, but I haven't tried in a long, long time.
That's awesome. Well, somebody else gave me a really valid tip. I think it was Crit Heads, who was last year's participant.
The good thing about Horde Wars is that you technically you don't necessarily need a map. It's a very good game that you can theater of the mind with if you know what you're doing. But if you do use a map, you can just use any sort of hex map, and the number of moves you can do is based on the actual map itself. It's not measured out in feet or meters. It's you can move 6 spaces or 7 spaces. It's very direct.
Scooty, I dropped the link in the Discord, sir. In the general chat of the Shield Brothers. I will send it again. Good. But that's a great point, Hunter, because however, I think that just like I did before, I used Owlbear Rodeo because if nothing else, it will maintain my sanity in a setting where I'm juggling 8 players.
You have that? You have sanity?
Only when it comes to running games. And that just barely so. Let me see. Hold on. All right.
Here's Scooty.
Scootifer.
With this. Yeah. You may have to help me figure out. You may have to walk me through on how to set up the fundraising part on my end, Jack, after we're done with all this. That way I can get it all set up and good to go.
It was quite easy at the time. It's really just log in and sign up.
Well, hey, our man in China.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing?
What's up, Mike?
I am walking to work.
It is a beautiful day, and we're happy to be walking along with you.
Right on, man.
And for being on the opposite side of the world, I really expected you to look a lot more upside down.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, I can tell you, boys, the future is bright. Tomorrow, you're gonna have a wonderful day. So
nice.
Thank you. Nice. That's excellent. I'm always glad to know I'm having a wonderful day tomorrow. Future me is very pleased.
Right.
Yeah. So for Gobstein, I'm definitely down. What are the dates?
So I have not firmed anything up. Tonight is the official announcement and the brainstorming session. And I was actually thinking to at least get a roster of players and then form up a date. But the plan would be to do 3 weeks of posting wherever it works for you, do videos, do anything like that, and to boost your character, generate some donations under your name. And the more donations you gather, the more beefy your character will be on game.
Right.
So,
yeah, that sounds awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but the plan is that I think just have a 3 week leading up, no actual sessions or gameplay, but that's the time to promote the event, generate donations for yourself or for anyone. And, people who want to see you have a hard time can donate directly to me so I can build big monsters.
Throw monsters at me. Okay. And we don't have like a general idea for the timing, like June, July.
Oh, I will say I was hoping May, like do it towards the end of May.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's a little tight, but I'm gonna do whatever. Give me some specific dates, and I'll do what I can to make it. And
awesome.
If I can't, I will do everything I can to
June,
promote money for St. Jude. So,
is June easier to schedule for you?
July is perfect.
July.
Well, that could work.
I was not in love with any particular time frame, and that gives more time to plan.
More time so like for me,
organize. More time for donations, more time to level up.
I don't want the plans to be around me, but the thing is I'm a teacher, so once summer starts, I can actually I can join you guys on any day, and it's a lot easier for me. I don't have a lot of graduation stuff to do, so. But again, I can make it work no matter what. I mean, I run a YouTube channel, so I mean, I always make it work. But
understood.
Yeah,
understood.
Summer, May is tough, but
May, yeah, and that's one of those. I'm a dive in head first kind of guy, but I need to learn how to plan and build and build up some momentum. And there's also, I've got Hunter to help remind me. He's great at hey, I need to do this thing. Hunter, remind me later, and he reminds me. It's great.
Yeah, I would probably go with July too, if anything, just so it gives more people time to plan and promote and stuff. Because again, this is not just your simple prepare the fort to find the goblins. This is like a full on almost war where you're preparing for, in a sense.
And if you're trying to book
the Ministry of Silly Walks,
and if you want to book YouTube personalities and stuff, we usually have schedules out at least 1 month minimum, just to get Harmony into a session. I had to start 3 weeks ahead. So.
Wow.
Right. Oh, good. Okay. Well, I'm going to be reaching out the usual suspect. Now, you might have heard before you joined here, I mentioned Harmony and Dunder. Who else do you think would be good candidates for players? Because it's somebody I want to have some sort of a following and clout in a social media arena, not necessarily just YouTube, but Rumblers, big people on X, and people you think might be excited to participate in it.
Sure. Do you know Elder Goblin Games?
No.
Joined my stream this past weekend. Michael was in the chat with him. He's great. He's great. We chat a little bit in the back channels, but I can ask him if he wants to do it. No Fun Allowed. Do you guys know him?
I don't know him.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's awesome. He does a lot of 5e stuff, but he's a really cool dude. So I could ask him as well. He's got 15,000 followers. So.
Nice.
Quite a substantial following.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Dude's huge. So.
Right.
18,600.
I was going to say Bill's got 10,000.
Mr. Bill. Right. Yeah.
I don't know if he'd be down. He's played Horde Wars before. He played with Todd, and for charity, he might be down.
See, I don't have a big following. I'm just a help here.
Mr. Delver, you were saying would be a good one. He'd be a good one to hit up.
He would be awesome.
Well, he's played before, but he's got 10,000 people, and when he puts something out on Discord, everybody gets it. And yeah, he would be a good one for sure.
That's awesome. Okay, well, good. We're getting a guest list together, and I'm open to more suggestions anyone who sees or hears this, if you want to participate, if you are a YouTuber of some type and want to get in on some of this action, let me know. Let me know, because this time that was part of one of the things that limited our scope last time. The best we did was when we got on the streams of established people with followings. You know, if it wasn't for that, our donations, well, let's face it, a lot of people just donated themselves, right? And made it big. A lot of it was, you know, a lot of that money was
Mike's starting to go slow motion. It's like freeze frame, but they're model poses every time. It's like, oh yeah. I had to say something. Then I checked the regular stream. It was doing it. It's funny. It's a great walk, but it was like all of a sudden, you know, we're shooting a music video.
Yep. So it'll be after Velma's birthday. So late in July. Last 3 weeks. I'm going to arbitrarily say last 3 weeks of July.
Perfect.
I mean, as long as we don't do it during the work week and on like the weekends on which I'm off all the time on, then I'll be good to go.
Yeah,
so
it can't be on the 4th.
Yep. Well, we'll negotiate that. I
4th.
would like to do it on a Saturday or Sunday for maximum viewership. And nail that down
Saturday
weeks in advance so people can save that date and stuff for it.
Just because, like, if you get like Vicky and Dean or Mike or some, you know, you get anybody from the other side of the world, like Saturday is their Sunday, right? So if we do it on Saturday, it's at least everybody's weekend.
Well, and
yeah, for sure.
Friday night for us would be Saturday morning for Mike, correct, Mike? Yeah. So
right.
So Friday night,
I could do a Friday night. That would not be an issue for me if we have to
Friday
do that.
Night would work. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So generally, we're going to be shooting for a Friday, Saturday night. Let me look at the quick calendar here.
Summertime here in Arkansas, all these flies are getting in my RV. It's like I'm 33 years old. I'm a single father, and I live in an RV down by the river.
Where at in Arkansas are you?
In that thing?
July.
Oh man, the traffic.
I don't know if he heard you.
Where in Arkansas are you?
Northwest area. I don't know if
where Scooty's from? Where's Scooty from? I know he said something.
I'm from
before.
Louisiana.
Where are you from? Louisiana.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Northwest Arkansas is a great place. I just stay out of Fayetteville for the most part because it's gone by the wayside in recent years, but that's another story.
So it turns out July 31st is a Friday, and that would be the last 3 weeks of July. If we targeted that Saturday, the following Saturday, that would be August 1st. Is that acceptable to you, Mr. Scootifer?
I am back in school August. Let me just double check that. I'm pretty sure my first day of school is like August. Oh, geez, I don't know. I'll have to check my calendar when I get to the office.
Okay.
So I'm not sure.
Okay, so to make it that would give us 3 clean weeks of shite posting and rabble rousing on the internet after Velma's birthday before the completion. So if August 1st is viable, that would be awesome. If not, we can try and target the weekend before that, and we may narrow the window to 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that. Right. More like 2 full weeks. All right. Yeah.
Oh, well, the Pumpkin Cow just went up again because he's doing more puns in the chat now since he can't be on the stream. So
it only has average atomic mass combat. Oh. And not the table of elements. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the pun counter keeps going up. Hunter is under attack. He's always under attack.
If not by the flies and the mosquitoes around here, then by goblins and werewolves and lichens. Oh my.
Evil spirits. I can tell from a look at him. He's plagued by evil spirits.
I think I'm growing the first mosquitoes around here in my own backyard. Like there hasn't been any since we moved here, and I'm between 2 rivers and surrounded by woods. So you'd think I'd be getting attacked, but I think I got some in the little chicken water. Like they're either tadpoles or mosquitoes. And I'm pretty sure it's my mosquito farm out there.
Now, Scudderfer, if I was catching up to the stream, and I thought I heard you say you reached out to Castle Grief and he just gave you all the Kalarath books. So you have the Kalarath books.
I do. Yes, I do have all the Kalarath books. I don't know. Now that I think about it, I probably shouldn't have said that he just gave me those books for free. That probably wasn't.
No,
I probably should have said it.
Yeah, I mean, you're halfway across the world and super cool, so that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, but yes, I do have them. Absolutely, I've downloaded them all. I was thinking about getting them printed, but then I committed to only running 4 systems, and so since most of my play is dungeon mastering, I haven't gotten them printed yet. But I've read through the first book,
right?
The primary one, yeah.
All right. Well, so when you need a break and want to play something, I will run Kalarath for you.
Well, yeah, I mean that can happen. Oh, someone's got a dog. That can happen anytime because I'm not committed to only playing 4 systems, just running them. So I can be a player in any game.
Right.
Okay. Well, good. And then, I know Sunday, but maybe we need to add a Saturday morning Kalarath to the schedule since Michael Dale was subconsciously suggesting it the entire early part of the show.
Sounds great.
He agrees. The dog agrees with you.
How's the ambient sound coming through my microphone? Is it like really noisy?
No, hardly noticeable actually.
No, yeah, the ambient sound is fine. The dog sounds like it's closer than you are.
It was just when you were about traffic that one time when it was really interfering. But other than that, it's fine now. So
that was like a major intersection, and I was talking on the phone. That's a terrible idea in China. They will run you over.
Right. That's quite the walk. You going 2 miles, 3 miles?
It's a 20-minute walk. I don't really know. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Why'd you get a bike or something?
That's a decent.
I can't
that's
bike.
a decent
it's
distance.
Easy.
What's good
I
for
just
you?
like to walk. Yeah, it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
See,
no.
I would rather bike than walk. I used to bike to and from back when I was in high school, and it was like a good 20, 30-minute bike ride sometimes, depending on the day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, see that would be a long walk.
This is a
you don't want to
5-minute
walk for
bike
3
ride.
hours to get to work. Right.
Yeah. So I work out whenever I first wake up, and so this is like my cool down period. I'm actually sweating right now, and I'm walking at like a really brisk pace to kind of just like keep the rhythm going, but not lifting anymore. So.
Right.
Black fly territory. Well, maybe that's something that'll be worked into Gobstein. Are goblins susceptible to lycanthropy? I don't know if Horde Wars has an answer to that question, but I think the answer is probably in our case, yes.
I mean, there are rules for
the right donation.
There are rules for if a player gets bitten by a werewolf, how lycanthropy works. I assume you could apply the same thing for just any other sort of monster or player race, creature, whatever NPC. I mean, that's the ruling I would make. It's like we could always ask Blackwall too. I know usually he's pretty. You can usually, if you're part of the Discord server for Horde Wars, he's always he'll answer questions usually, not too long.
Yeah, that is true. He absolutely will pitch in on stuff.
Right, and he knows all the behind the scenes math to probably spit something out instantly that actually fits and works. Right.
Not only will he be able to tell us whether or not they can be werewolves, he'll tell us what their stat block should look like. It looks different from they're much smaller than they're more like coyotes.
There actually is a way to combine like a goblin with the werewolf stat block. There is a way he does that I have learned in recent years. So
nice.
All right, guys, I'm just now getting to my school, so I'm gonna have to head out.
We bid you a fun.
Yep. Have a wonderful.
Good seeing you, Mike.
Wonderful day at work. Teach them kids.
Yeah. This is my school behind me. I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
bye. See you.
Super cool.
See you, Mike.
Yep.
Good seeing you.
Good morning. Have a good one. Ta-da.
We don't get to hang out with the class and learn English. Kind of disappointed.
Yeah, well, goodness knows your English could use some work, Michael.
Yeah, that interview I did with him, I think, almost 2 years ago now. I think was when I had Scudder for Mike on my stream, just asking like what the Broasar was, basically. That still is one of my favorite interviews I've done.
Yeah,
I had him on.
He was
so
fun. when we had him on. He was super because he came in like full shtick and everything. Like it was great.
Yeah,
he's such a.
And then
cool
I
dude,
had the
so nice.
the Kool-Aid jammers I was drinking like on stream to say I was like drinking the Brosar Kool-Aid.
Right.
So okay, so another question
Man, that's something I haven't had in 20 years.
Another question I have for you, Jack, because we've been kind of back and forth on this. Am I helping to run the game, or am I actually playing in the game?
Which do you want? Do you want to be a co-GM with me, or do you want to be a player and leave the GMing to me? I will just ask you rules questions during the game.
I mean, I don't want to make that decision because this is still your game. So I'm trying to I don't want to be I want to GM doing that because I don't want to accidentally step on your toes in the process. So I'm good with doing either or. I can play in the game and just kind of answer the questions as needed, or I could just kind of help you run the game towards you got if characters doing multiple things, you got these few, and then I can handle these few if so much is happening. So I'm good for either or. I'll leave the decision in your capable hands.
All right, I will bring you on the team officially. Then you'll be co-GM and organizer with me for this one.
Okay then.
Nice.
It's so I shall lead the horde with my mastery. Horde.
Michael, as to you, do you want to be an assistant runner or do you want to be a participant? Assistant organizer?
I mean, I don't know about running it. I'd have to read and learn the rules for one thing. But I mean, I can help you organize it. I can help you come up with other stuff for it as well. Like if you're trying to do merch and images and everything, but it'd be fun to play. I'd like to play in it.
Co-GM. Excellent. Okay.
Koji.
Then since you've been doing the rounds of streams recently, this is a perfect opportunity for you to be leveraging all those guest appearances and talk at the event and everything. Good. Okay.
Right.
So then you'll be the first guinea pig for what I was talking about. Again, we'll figure out what we want to do. I'll verify whether or not this. I think we might want to just start a new campaign, and we'll start a new campaign every year. And we'll use this as an opportunity to start fresh. That way, everybody can sign up because the requirement for you to be a participant is to sign up as a team member on the St. Jude's page for the fundraising campaign, and then to solicit donations. So, and even if you get no donations, you'll still get to play as a level 1 out of the book on the day of the event. But everything you get, and we'll stick with that thing. I like the nice, easy increments of 100. We may lower it, I think, depending on how the donations go. 100 seems like a good start, though. But if somebody worked up $1,000 for this, then I don't know. 10th level doesn't sound like a bad idea.
That's level 10 tier 2, because there are capstone tiers that the player characters can get to, which gives them more effects, more maneuvers or actions or whatever. So
right. Yeah. So that's one of the aspects I'll rely on with you is your greater experience with the system, particularly when it comes to running high level characters. Heck, I think over in the intervening time, I'm going to try and do some solo play to learn the rules and just, gamers are, shockingly, gamers are not all that broke. You're thinking of LARPers. They were sad people and were always broke. Yes. Gamers are sad, broke, terrible people when they're LARPers.
Oh, Scudder from Mike said in chat that he can do early August.
We have another participant.
Perfect.
That's 2. That's 2. All right, good. So we're going to be reaching out to others. Well, we're on Dunder Moose. We're coming for you, Dunder. Can you hear? Are your ears burning, Dunder Moose? Are you here, Dunder Moose? Can you hear me?
I'm going to say, Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Oh. It's like,
quick, Velma, go pat his back.
It's like we need it.
Joking.
He needs to at least be alive to run the Gobstein II before he passes on to the next slide.
Right.
Death would be an impediment to a lesser man, but I will be there.
I tried
one way or another. If I am partially
I tried breathing
decomposed at the time, I will be there.
Tried breathing ice when we had Harmony on, like halfway through the stream. All of a sudden, I'm like dying off to the side, shooting. It's like, you know.
I've done that. I have that a couple of times. Like I'm still getting used to talking for multiple hours in a row myself.
Right.
So a lot of times in the second half of my show, I have to pause and I'm using my minty spray and him.
Now, I will ask this just because I think this. We probably won't do this, but it's just hilarious to think about. There is a hard mode version that you can have the player characters be, where instead of picking the 2 careers that they would do, you just pick 1, and then you just pick the extra skills that you would have gotten from second class instead. So instead of being just a Crusader, a Crusader deep delver, you can just be one or the other. Yeah,
choose one. So choosing one would be less powerful, simpler for people who don't know Horde Wars, because we also want the system to not be a barrier to participation in the game.
Right.
It just gives you less maneuvers and actions, yes, but you do get more skills. Technically,
more skills. I don't know. With more experience in the
from
system,
the second one, but without all the
which do you think is a better fit for what we're talking about here, Hunter?
Well, it's interesting because technically the easy mode is supposed to be you get the 2 careers and then you have all these actions and maneuvers that you can do. But then again, when you think about the quote-unquote hard mode, yes, having the less skills and actions would be easier for a first-time player. But then again, it depends on all the enemies you're facing, and then you would really need to focus. I think actually that, you know what? Now that I think about it, this actually would be interesting to see. We lost Jack.
Sorry, he'll be back.
Because now my thought process. Sorry,
trying to learn
because my thought process I'm going through now is it technically would be kind of easier if we have them do the quote unquote hard mode version. And everyone picked 1 career, because then we could definitely be like, okay, we could basically have everyone just be 1 career instead of worrying about everyone picking the same career. Oh, is he actually frozen, or is he just doing that on purpose?
He's there.
So that would be interesting. Is everyone could just pick from the 1 career. Oh, Jack, you're a hoot nanny.
I'm messing with you.
So hold on. Sorry, I'm still kind of finishing my thought here really quick because my brain was going on because my thought process now is do technically the quote unquote hard mode, and then say here's all the careers, and then everyone just picks 1 from the list. There's no multiples or anything. Everyone is just 1 of the careers by default. No multiples of anything. So that's my thought process. If we want to do it that way, of course, you have the final say on it. So,
hey, we got to give a shout out to Patty and Jeremy. They are
Patty.
I hope you guys are having a great time. Yeah, send pics.
I know. Keep posting those pictures. Yeah, keep
Patty.
Call in.
Oh, we get a visit.
Dude.
Oh, there he is. Word.
Oh, look at that handsome devil.
I know.
We
just had the best game. We saved Val for 1. We had 6 players. Varus went in. We came upon this tower, and we knew that Val was in there because we rolled up a map, and she had the lantern of or whatever. So Varus was like, "No, I'm a good drawer," and I drew a portrait of Val and showed it to her, and was just good enough for the magic to work. We went in there, and there was these fire dung beetles, and immediately Varus is like, "Fire dung beetles!" I picked one up and squeezed it so the flame burst killed more fire beetles, and then
that's hilarious. I love it.
Stomped on it.
That's great.
And then I stomped around on the floor while everyone else was going up. I stomped on the floor, and the dung rot had set in, so it made the floor crash out. And I saw Val's maul down there, so I jumped down, got ambushed by snake men. one guy stabbed Varys, and he just like looks up and he goes, "You disrespect me," and I punched him with my left hand, knocked his ass out. We killed the other guys, and then we found like a secret door that led us up the tower in like a separate compartment, and we go up there, and there's like the snake magician, and he like disappears, and so like we're all like going in there. Varys immediately, and I didn't draw a weapon this entire session, but Varys like sprints to one, tackles him to the ground, starts like dribbling his head off the ground, bites into his neck, and spits the blood everywhere, trying to find the invisible mage. And apparently it was like a show of force that required all of the snake men's attention. So like while everyone else is kind of caught unawares, all of the snake men turned and went to go fight me, so that way everyone else got advantage on the attack. And then at the very end, when there was no snake men left but the one I was grappling, just stuck my fingers into his neck hole and like ripped his freaking head off. And we found Val, and I was like, did Val see how violent I was so I could save my friends? No, he was knocked out. I'm like, okay, well, I gotta do it again so he sees me.
Varys wants to take care of his friends.
Yes. Didn't even draw a weapon. I just open ham-fisted it the entire time. It's awesome.
Nice.
So Val the Mauler has been saved from whatever terrible fate awaited him.
Yes.
Good. Remind me to deduct the 1,000 gold from Cauldron's account.
Okie dokie. Oh, also, we were curious because one of our friends went to accidentally started a fight with a manticore and got his arm bitten off.
Okay. Accidentally?
Yeah, you know, stuff happens when you fight a manticore.
Right.
Okay, I'm rolling my magic to see if Cauldron knows the truth of this. It wasn't accidentally, was it?
He might have aggroed a manticore unnecessarily.
Right, okay, good. And how does why does this affect me? Why do I need to know about this?
Well, he helped us save Val, and we were like, and Varys immediately was like, "Oh yeah, no, Cauldron could definitely fix that. No big deal."
Oh gosh. Okay, Hunter, I need an oracle roll. Can Cauldron fix that? If there's a way to fix it, Cauldron can figure it out.
Where'd that? Oh, there it is. Got my trusty dusty there. 50-50?
That's I leave the. What do you think the chances are? What Cauldron? If there is a way to successfully grow the guy's arm back, or reattach it somehow, or give him a decent substitute,
Jeremy. I know he shaved too. That's crazy. He looks so different.
He's gonna find out to see if Cauldron can. Do you want to say hi, Miranda?
King says, "I wish you were here."
All right, hold on 1 second, guys. Miranda wants to say hi.
Hi guys, hope you're all doing this.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, sure. Welcome to it.
She didn't know she was guesting on a stream this evening, you know. So
I guess my question
being
is
overwhelmed by all the star power on.
We're gonna find out. We're finding out right now if your character can get his arm regrown.
So here's what I'm trying to think. Is this coming from? Does Cauldron want to heal him, or is Cauldron magically able to? Is it based on his mood or his magic ability?
Cauldron wants to. I don't know if it's magically possible, but if there is a way to do it, Cauldron can figure it out like that.
Then I will leave this 50-50 then. So just one die. Oh nope. That is a no and. So
Right.
on the Oracle.
No and. Ooh, yes. Well, no, I cannot replace his arm without, selling the rest of him to a demon prince. If that's acceptable to him, I can make the arrangements. Perhaps we can fit him for some sort of prosthetic. Is it above the elbow or below the elbow?
I think it was at the socket, dog.
It was at the socket.
At the shoulder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole arm.
I think we're just gonna rig a harness with a shield for him.
I think that'll work because he's a pterodon rider. So
And he has a pterodon, so you now have a pterodon rider in your army.
Oh,
nice.
Well, now I'm definitely building him a prosthetic. I can't have a one-armed pterodon, General, or can I? That might be really Bard Arsh looking.
All
I
I'm
don't
saying
know.
is that Varys really represented the Order by showing some really brotherly understanding, ripping these big men apart.
Just so you know, Superman have been introduced, and you now have a enemy in the form of a serpent priest who is looking for information on how to defeat you. That is why Val was captured, and he was.
Oh, well then. Well, let's see if anything can challenge Cauldron the Bright, then, shall we? I feel so threatened.
His powers mirror your own.
Oh, crap. We're in deep trouble. We're in very deep trouble if his powers mirror mine.
Also,
I'll send you an updated copy of my character sheet, Jeremy. I just made level 8. Did I mention that?
Woot! That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a good one.
You guys are missed. I really hope that we can get a handful of you guys, and then we can all play Calarat together in the same spot.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The group here, I think they loved it.
Yeah, they had a great time. So we miss you guys. I'm so glad that we literally finished up right as I was calling you guys. So.
Oh, nice.
I'm honored that you're playing a continuation of the campaign. Thank you, brothers.
Thank you, guys. All right.
You guys have fun. Have a good weekend.
Later.
Week.
Hey, take it easy.
Have a good one. Take more pictures. Take videos.
And remember, there is an infection.
No, and there's an infection. That's the and.
Cyrus the virus.
But that did also remind me, Cyrus, you would have gotten Gorstag's letter today. Your Cauldron would have.
Oh, right. Oh, well, let me pull that up. Let me. Yeah. What was that letter again? Did you send it to me in our server?
Yes. I typed it out on Gorstag, but I did tag you in it. It was basically just informing you of everything that had happened, and that I would be leaving soon. So, but of course, this was before that. This was before that Gorstag started a civil war in Alrathax. So.
Right.
So unfortunately, Coulter's not going to get that journal because he had to give it to the Thieves Guild that was basically in there to make sure he doesn't get killed.
Right. Okay. Well, let me roll dice. Okay. Cauldron knows everything about this situation. Right. Oh, good. I was wondering when you were going to come clean to me.
Yeah, because the original intention, because I thought that Gorstag was just going to completely turn on Cauldron, and then the dice dictated, nope, we're actually just playing double agents the whole time.
I kind of knew that you would see that I am in your best interest in the long run.
I think Gorstag would probably have thought, as long as you keep paying me, we're good.
Have I not made you wealthier than you possibly imagined already?
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
Yes, okay. I have. Yes, I have. And those listening, if you want to be wealthy in the world of Calarat, then ask.
So, going back to Gobstein II, do you want to do the quote-unquote hard mode and have everyone just pick one career? Or do you want to stick with the quote-unquote what's supposed to be the easy mode and everyone picks 2 careers for the characters?
Well, you were delineating the differences. A thought that occurred to me was that it might be a fun opportunity that when we sign players up, if I hop on and do a short stream with them of character creation,
right,
mm-hmm. And that would allow us to highlight the system, show how it works. That way everybody is seeing Horde Wars at its at its basic fundamental. And in that case, I would want to use the full system, since I'm giving everybody a one-on-one shot to kind of do the character generation really quick. I mean, with someone who hasn't experienced the game, how long do you think character creation takes? Is that something that can be done in an hour?
Oh yeah, for a first-time person learning how to do character creation, you can do it in under an hour. Once you know the system, I can get it. I can create at least 2 characters in 15-20 minute window.
That was it. I mean, I spent a little more than an hour creating my character at the time, but that was because one of the things I like about Horde Wars is character creation drew me directly into the lore of the world, into the base setting. So it was just like choosing the nationality, because if I'm going to be a human, I got to choose a nationality to go with it. I actually liked that. It was an elegant way of introducing world lore into the character creation process.
Yeah. If anything, trying to figure out what exactly you want and going through all the options is what's going to take more time than anything. Is people are going to be like, because again, you only have humans, elves, dwarves, orcs, and halflings. There's only 5 races, but you got like 20 plus class careers that you can pick from 2 of. So you can have a red wizard, like a red wizard blade master, or a brown wizard crusader, or a deep delver thief.
And see, that's one of the reasons I think that's what is specifically why I want to include it, because that's one of the awesome features of Horde Wars as a game. That's its standout thing, is that your starting character has this cool combination of professions. I really dig how that works. So I think I'm leaning more towards the full version like that instead of hard mode.
So we'll do the normal character creation. Everyone gets 2 careers, and then we'll probably, I'm guessing like another Monday or something, we'll cover like a character creation stream on like how it all works out, basically.
Yeah, actually, that could be next Monday's topic, is that we'll go over a character creation tutorial and then spin it out, see if we can edit it into a separate thing, like, you know, Michael, since Michael,
there's no limitations, right? I'm gonna be a halfling. I want that halfling luck. I want to roll that D12 before.
Okay. Now I will bring this up.
Do it right now. Walk them through character creation.
So I do have another question that I just thought of, because in the towards the back of the book, when you get to the NPCs, there are other versions of the core races that you can choose to be from. Like for the orcs, there's an optional rule: you can be a Frostfell orc instead of a regular orc. The only difference is, for a Frostfell orc, you lose the orc regeneration, but you get cold protection and the snow blend traits.
Right.
So,
but if it's one fight and it's a goblin siege.
Yeah, maybe we'll just have them stick with the regular core races instead of worrying about all these other extra ones.
Here's my fix: is present players with the basic options. If someone brings up one of those alternates because they know Horde Wars and want to play that, I'm all for it. I'll be
because one of my favorite things is instead of a halfling,
need to muddy the water with additional choices.
Because one of my things, instead of it's the kind of the opposite of the halfling, is a gnome, and the gnome has gnomish trickery, which you can force someone to re-roll their die.
Do orcs in Horde Wars have pig faces?
Not in this one. No, these are. No. So the reason that orcs are a playable race in Horde Wars is because Blackwall loved playing half orcs in like 3.0, 3.5. So they are just blue-skinned, large tusk. Like big boys, basically, what they are.
That makes sense. Actually,
so they do not have pig faces, and they are not monsters. They are treated as player character. They are treated as regular NPCs or PCs.
They're fully integrated into civilization. I like them. They're hairless but blue, and otherwise very classically orc. Shark teeth, pointy ears.
Right.
I like it. Very much like a Warhammer orc, but blue, and less of a simian or ape-like body position to it. Horks. Yeah. So, all right, Michael. So halfling would be your choice for a race, but what what careers do you think?
I don't know. I haven't gotten to that page yet, Jack.
Aha!
Yeah, because
in big picture wise, are you drawn the half?
So, well, I gotta look. I mean, I gotta look and see how everything else plays out on there to see if there's a career that, you know.
So, Jack, I need to bring this up because this could be something that is bound to happen in the Horde Wars game. So, in Horde Wars, there is no just common language that everyone speaks. Everyone has a native language, and then if they have the language skill, they may have like one to three, maybe more languages they know. So it is possible that two different characters don't speak any similar languages to each other.
If that happens, let it happen.
I know. I just want to bring that up because that's such a fun idea. Because I think I had a.
Thank you for that warning, and I'm tickled pink at the notion that that might happen. I would love to tell two players, what language do you have in common? None. Guess what? Yeah. You can't communicate anything to one another.
Well, you can communicate.
Because I think one time I played an orc that only spoke like Orcish and I think Draconic, and that was it. And no one else understood a single word I was saying.
Now, here's the thing, too, since we picked a specific location that's in oh goodness, is it Mercia? Is the name of the country?
It's a town. It's in the area of Grimstead, which is in Mercia, but it's Fireheart Keep.
So as part of the scenario, Mercia will be the common, and I think people will know that going into it.
Yeah, because Mercian is quote unquote the kind of common, but of course you do have like Brigmari and the Easterns and all that as well.
Don't have a cow, man.
Yeah, but that isn't. Yeah, because it tells you because the halflings you get Rundari is the halfling language in Horde Wars, and then you start with one other.
Mm-hmm.
Now the one downside to halflings is you take a -4 to your overall like carrying capacity, since you're a smaller size. Right. So you don't carry as much as a normal person.
Hunting. We're not.
You're not, no. But it really allows you to like. Yeah. Then again, it just depends on. But then again, though, if you do end up leveling up, if you do choose to get magic items over level up, sometimes it then comes down to what do you keep and what do you leave behind.
Right.
Now, Michael, do you think you're leaning more in a fighter, thief?
I don't know. That's what I'm looking at now. I was looking at like Blade Master, but there's also, I mean, because it's got to make sense to the situation. If it's not gonna, you know, like we kind of know what we're doing.
You know what you're doing.
Not gonna be, if it's not gonna be any help, right? Like, do I want to be good with a bow? Do I need to be, right? Maybe I need to be a tavern wench. I know, you know, like whatever is gonna get the. That's funny that's one of the careers.
One of my favorite characters I've ever played, and I played this character when I first started Horde Wars, and she was a halfling tavern wench Viking. So she was a short stack muscle mommy, is how I refer to her as. And I think I got her to level 2, and then she died protecting the party from a giant ambush. Like a literal ambush of giants.
That's nice. I was working on a tavern wench / red wizard who had a reputation for blasting the guys who got too fresh with her. If they got a little handsy, he was known for to cook them.
I have a set of characters I didn't make because I had this idea of doing a solo play that was supernatural but Horde Wars. So I had the brothers as Horde War characters, and I had one of the brothers' girlfriends. She was this elven red wizard tavern wench. So I literally made that exact same character you were just talking about already.
Exactly, you knew it. Touch me with that hand again, and you won't like what happens to it. Oh, what's that? Some sort of threat? Oh yeah. Be a burglar. A burgle. We need to burgle.
The Viking horns come off the helm for drinking.
A really short warlord.
Warlord, the warlord class is really great because warlords, you have orders that you can give to other people, and the best one is you can command someone if they're close enough to you. You can command someone to do another attack.
Right, and they get to do it like melee or ranged right then and there, or the rallying cry. You can cause everybody that's close to you to get more hit points back, right? Yeah. So I'm thinking, and you get 2 careers.
Yeah, so you get Warlord as one career,
Warlord.
And then you can pick one more. But the thing is, when you choose your starting equipment, you can only pick from one of the classes of starting equipment. You don't get both.
Right.
So that's the other big thing too when it comes to choosing careers is which starting equipment from the two careers will work best with both classes. Because if you pick the Viking for the most part is supposed to be unarmored. Because when you're unarmored as a Viking, that's when you can do like the most damage in your attacks. But if you say you got like a knight though, you're a Viking knight, that's a problem because knights rely on the heavy armor, and the Viking doesn't rely on the armor. Because if you wear armor as a Viking, you lose that damage benefit.
Maybe I'm an archer too. Maybe I'm a really short warlord archer.
These halflings get no breakfast.
The archer, I actually like the archer career because I always will pick the feature that I like picking. Oh, and that's another thing is on top of the two careers, every class gets one feature unless you choose human. Then you start with two features.
Right.
Yep. And then, in your experience, Hunter, how does armor affect spell casting? Does that vary by the school or by the career? Or
armor? Okay, so if you play a wizard and you choose wizard the wizard starting equipment, you do get robes, and the robes are provide a defense 8 flat. So, and there's nothing that adds to your defense. It's what you wear. The armor gives you either like the light armor will give you 8 defense, or heavy armor gives you like 10. And then there's like shields, and then you can increase your armor proficiency, kind of, sorta. That's a whole other thing. But wizard robes, if you wear your wizard robe, you get a defense 8, but you also get protection from basically your school of magic. So if you're a red wizard, your robes give you fire protection. So you take half damage from fire.
Right. Okay.
So but you can be you can be like a knight and have the knight armor and still cast spells as if you choose like as a blue wizard career. Like I have a blue wizard knight that wears a knight armor and he uses his sword to shoot lightning bolts out of.
Nice. Okay, that's cool. So there's this particular benefit you'll get if you wear the robes, but it's not required for spell casting. So
yeah,
that's how they incentivize.
So yeah, wizards can wear armor, but it's just the normal, like just how an armor normally is in the book, which usually gives you like 2 protections. It was like what your basic armor will usually be. It'll give you like protection from like blunt and slashing, or piercing and slashing, or piercing and blunt, that kind of stuff.
Okay, good. Yeah, I remember that was one of the things that armor does, like because that led me into researching gambesons and stuff like that. Because I was like, wait a minute, they protect you from piercing damage more than slashing. I wouldn't have thought that. He's like, nope,
this is what Blackwall really prioritized, was making sure, like, kind of, because again, this is based around like medieval Europe, so this is so a lot of this stuff is historically accurate to like what the fantasy of medieval Europe would be.
Yeah, it's very. I love that. That's what makes the world so rich within the game setting itself. That's why there's sort of a setting built into it, simply because of those historical elements, and I really enjoy that about the game.
Nice.
Yeah, and we kind of joke because again, this is based on European, so the Brigmar, you're kind of like the Germans of Horde Wars. The Fraconians are definitely the French of Horde Wars, and I think Mercia. I think the Mercia is supposed to be like the Brits, but we joke because Mercia is just Merca. Mercia is Merca.
Yeah. Merca. Yeah.
Matt Mercia.
Oh no, not Matt Mercia. That would be horrible. Oh no, it's like, what's with all the gay purple tieflings?
Have you guys ever seen the Mythica movies?
No, I've never heard of them.
Never heard of them? Okay, they're these low-budget fantasy movies. They did like 4 or 5 of them. Kevin Sorbo is in them playing the Good Wizard.
I wonder.
And Matt Mercer is in them playing the Evil Wizard. And Matt Mercer is awesome in those movies. He plays such a great Evil Wizard.
Yeah, as a voice actor and an actor, I'm sure Matt Mercer is great. I would just never want him as my dungeon master.
Oh, are you kidding, dude? I would play in his game in a heartbeat. I would rock that table.
Well, I will argue that Horde Wars is 10 times better than D&D ever can be, and that's because this is what I would rather go to Horde Wars than D&D. this is my preferred 2 fantasy go-to.
Absolutely. Actually, I really do appreciate what Horde Wars is. It was one of those ones I've said for years. I'm a really hard sell for a new kind of fantasy game. Generally,
Right.
And Horde Wars is one of the few games that pulled me away from some version of D&D or another. Like, D&D was always my default, and I really didn't play other fantasy games outside of that. But, Horde Wars is one of the few that I'll make an exception for because great system.
We have a chubby funster in the chat.
Chubby.
Dude, the hot bitches are off screen.
Right.
It's like,
or he means me. I'm a hot bitch.
Chubby's got a big following, much bigger than us. Is he getting in? Is he going to be a Gobsteiner?
Chubby! Well, Mr. Christopher.
I'd like to see Chubby do something besides Shadow Dark.
Oh, yes. And we would be getting him to create a character with which to defend. We have a flex. Wait a minute. I gotta give pardon me, Chubby. I gotta give a special greeting to the infamous Flex Skytreader. One will Stinkfist call and support from his favorite Drakenheim hero, Flex Skytreader. Mr. Skytreader, you read my mind. I have been planning a public proclamation of invitation to Flex Skytreader, and this is Drakenheim. And, well, maybe we'll use you as a Gobsteiner. Well, Mr. Christopher, a Gobsteiner is a player in the upcoming Gobstein II event. And, well, let me just... Actually... One second.
Does it work?
Hold on, calm yourself.
I'll be back.
Darn it. Well, crap. Screw that. That's not good television. All right. So what it actually is, Mr. Christopher, is Gobstein was a charity game that I ran online about this time last year. And tonight we are announcing officially Gobstein II. This year, our system of choice is Horde Wars. And the scenario that we are setting up is a classic sort of Helm's Deep from the Two Towers, where a group of heroes are going to be the last line of defense against an oncoming onslaught of goblins, an endless horde of goblins. And the players who participate will be soliciting donations on the part of St. Jude. Here's the screen coming again. Whammo. There we go. Now, I'll be doing a new fundraiser, and everyone who joins will become a team member. You'll sign up to become a team member by joining the Gobstein. That's the price of admission to be a participant. Those people will solicit donations during the 3 weeks leading up to the event itself. At the event, when you start, the more donations you have gathered, the more powerful your character will be, and the more able you will be able to defend these poor citizens from the incoming horde of goblins. You're moving to North Carolina. Congratulations, I hope. Congratulations. And good luck packing your shit. I know what a struggle that can be. And, of course, Chubby Funster and Off Grid, glad to have you here as well. So, what we are doing is running Gobstein II. We are doing the Gobstein II, and we are soliciting players. And one of the things that we did last year, we set a small goal. We had like 8 players, and it was a 3-week Braunstein thing. We did okay. We raised $3,000, which honestly is not bad for a bunch of guys who had no social media footprint at the time, by and large across the board. And yes, anyone who donates to me will be giving me special goodies to use against the players on the day of the blessed event.
Yep,
you want to go, so congrats is good. I am glad to hear that. I am glad to hear it's a pleasant change, sir. And I hope it is as smooth a move as possible under the circumstances. At least it's spring.
That, revised Shadow Sun bug that he's been working on. I'm looking forward to getting that to replace my old one.
Shadow Sun, Shadow, and he did Shadow Rim too.
Shadow Rim, that's the Skyrim Shadow Dark. Yes, that was
Yep. But yeah, I would definitely love to see what he could bring to the table in an event like this. The overall plan is to just have a 3-week period where it involves mostly posting about the event online, culminating in a Saturday event at the end of July. So it would be Friday, July 31st or August 1st, tentatively. And all we're really asking for the people who are going to participate, the players, is to solicit donations, try to drum up some hype on social media. I'm hoping for people with actual social media followings this time to be participants and players, because that would give us a big boost in getting donations out in the word. But it'll be our second official event. We're looking to do it in the end of July this coming year. So we got a couple months to plan it and get organized. And Hunter's about to burst. Speak, sir.
This just came. I just hit my mind. Since I'm Koji Emmy, does that mean if my donations give me evil goblin boosting powers as well?
Yes. Absolutely.
Excellent.
Absolutely. And your donations will be your toys to break, and my donations will be my toys to break.
Nice.
Ideas are pouring in my head now.
Well, excellent. See, now we're already so that's the general framework of the game. You know, us GMs are going to be soliciting donations as team members on the overall fundraiser. All the players will set up. I'll be creating, I think I am going to go ahead and create a new fundraiser rather than leverage the previous one. And given what we did last year, I think the reasonable starting goal is going to be $5,000 this year. So we're going to start at a 5,000.
Nice.
With luck, we'll blow right by that and hit the 10,000 mark. And that was what that was the pie in the sky number last year. Maybe we can pass it this year. There is also a greater than outside chance of a corporate sponsor this year.
Nice.
So I got some paperwork to do on that, but we may have a who knows, a dollar for dollar match to other donations or something along those lines.
Nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah, that would be super cool.
But the community really rallied around us last year when the time came. Not just in the donations themselves, but in people putting me on their platforms, giving me the time of day, talking it up, making the event. It started with Patty. Ginger was a big help. Scudder from Mike promoted us. I didn't get on his stream at the time, but we got a lot of help from a lot of people. Dunder Moose too. So thanks to everybody who made it possible, and thank you to you guys for being here to help me make it happen again.
Yeah, it was really cool that I got to help out with that with my little donation that I give out. I actually look forward to actually being a part of it for this time around. So I'm glad. I'm very thankful that
later, Cyrus.
Opportunity.
It's going to be awesome, man. It's really great.
Thing wasn't down.
So yeah, I think it's going to be a great opportunity. Now, we still got a half an hour on the clock. What else you guys got going on? Do you got anything on your mind? Any topics you needed to cover tonight, or do we need to spend the majority of this time on further brainstorming? Because I tell you what, I could go through my recent acquisitions list. Because some of them are pretty cool and odd, rare items. Matter of fact, those of you who know, I play with Scudder for Mike. Well, I picked up an extra copy of Shadow Dark for a friend, but I also picked up a couple of the Curse Scrolls, and I need to get a couple more. But That's one of the great things. My friendly local gaming store, which is literally a couple blocks from me, is now stocks Shadow Dark and a bunch of indie games in their role-playing section. D&D itself has a teeny tiny little share of the shelf space. I would say D&D is at best 10 or 15% of the shelf space for the role-playing games there.
That's how a lot of the stores are going now.
I think that really says a lot about the market share that indie games are starting to take, particularly things like Shadow, because I also picked up the box ship of Mothership at my local gaming store. Who Immortals Inc. They have them on Twitter. They're on Facebook. You can find them. I do share their stuff sometimes. I hope to have Carlos and Mikey, the owners, on to talk business, because Carlos himself had a recent video on his YouTube channel where he talked about how, look, man, I think Wizards is really messing up their fan base. There's no excitement for the new books coming out. Like he said, I did fine with the new core books, the 24 core books. There's no excitement for the new stuff. It's like a couple people kind of there. I have a few I sell because there's people that just buy everything, but I'm not seeing the enthusiasm.
Right.
Yeah, like my game store. There's one I frequent that I love them. They're great. But the problem that I have is when they reached out looking for people for paid DMs to try to run games store, and I asked them, what are you looking for? Is it just D&D? Are you open to having other games? Right? And they said no. They're only looking for D&D games because they want to try to get on like WotC's list of D&D game stores. Is what they're trying to go for.
Right.
And the majority of their shelves are all Pathfinder and D&D. They have like a small area where it's like some extra books here and there, but it's nothing that interesting that piques my eye. That's the problem.
It seems to be a blessing, man. Here in Cleveland, we have a pretty thriving indie game scene. There's even a vampire LARP at my local game store going now.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
Well, hey, I accept that. I'll take it.
I am not a vampire. I'm not a World of Darkness fan in general, except for like first edition Hunter. That's the only exception.
This is Old Gods of Appalachia from Monty Cook Games. This was a recent acquisition, also at the local gaming store, man. They're great selection of stuff there.
Yeah, Monty Cook stuff is.
I've heard that one. I've heard mixed reviews on. Mostly, I've heard it's a good game, but it's a lot of details. That's the most big thing I've heard about it.
That was part of what drew me to it. Is just flipping through. Is I actually like the deep rooting in extended folklore, pure Americana. Like I'm hoping that like the Black Lodge Games guys have been talking about their game that's under development, which is oh yeah, Dan, my veteran LARP player. I'll finish my thought. The Black Lodge Games guys are working on Americana Dream, which is kind of in the same way. It's this almost folklore take on American legends and the American dream, the American life.
Don't breathe it. Don't breathe it, Jack.
Breathe. Then Dan has been my friend for 27-ish years now, 28 years.
I'm sorry, Dan.
Nice.
I kid.
He's been a vampire LARPer through most of my gaming time. So he was in my longtime player. And so to answer your question, Dan, yes, there is a new Cleveland by Night being run at the local game store at Immortals, being run by a new group of people who I don't know any of them. They have no connection to our crowd that I am aware of. And I did watch one of their live plays, their first live play session that was streamed, and that was enough. I have not gone back to watch any more. Suffice to say, their first session that I watched, they were bigger murder hobos than any D&D party I've ever seen.
See, that's what I expect from a vampire game, though. I expect them to play as vampires.
No,
I don't like the politics.
Wrong! I must now rage at you, and it's because of that.
This is why
Vampire sucks. Vampire is awesome, and
this is why Shadow City by Chubby Funster is the superior vampire game. Yeah,
so I ran a superior vampire game, which Dan will attest to. So much so that I gave up eventually because I was like, you guys are not living up to my standards. Loser. No, seriously though, that I will stand on that hill. All of the World of Darkness games are great in and of themselves if you can get a group of dedicated players who will really get into it. And there's very little infiltration that needs to be done because they have an open game. I think they play once a month at the game store. So look at the website, immortalsinc.com. Immortals.com? I don't know. I have to look it up, but I should plug them more. Truth. Yeah.
Yes, that Shadow City is superior to the vampire.
Wait, what?
I think because I said that his vampire game, Shadow City, is superior than World of Darkness Vampire, in my opinion.
Oh, well, that is probably true. I actually still haven't gotten Shadow City to the table yet, and that's one of the solo plays I've been gearing up for this year. But, promises.
I played in the Shadow City game, and we got TPK'd after the second session.
Yeah. I do love his take because, especially in the talk when I had Chubby on, we got to talk about Shadow City. It was during that Kickstarter. And it's the one in Rocky River, Dan. You know the one. But he really understood the feel of vampire, the genre. He really was able to recreate that. And I loved the leaning into the masquerade breaking mechanic, that there's just a point you cross a line eventually where you're all just dead. That's it. That's the end of it. Because in truth, one of the things that makes vampire gaming so bad is that GMs are afraid of that point. That it is very conventional play D&D of sometimes players do things that are so dumb that you say, okay, you're just dead. You're just dead. As I famously said to Chubby during that talk, even you don't know what happened to you. You just disappear overnight. No one knows what happened to you, not even you. And sometimes players are that dumb, and it goes against the grain of conventional player D&D. Well, don't I get a chance? Don't I get a die roll? No, I want a scene. If they're taking me annoyed, I got a chance to fight back. No, you don't, because that's part of what the World of Darkness is no matter how big and nasty you are, there are bigger, nastier things that can kill you with no problem.
Right.
There is no masquerade. Well, actually, that is one thing I do like about V5 is they take that on head on finally. Because again, Vampire was born in the early internet, pre-smartphone era. And the game would have been conceptualized completely different. Yes, GMs are always afraid to kill off the player characters, and that is the truth. It's one of the I see so many people held hostage to that GMing mentality. Oh, if I kill them, they'll be mad at me and they'll quit.
Roll up a new character. I love them. It's like, no, this is a game. This is what happens.
If you're playing with those kind of people, that's a completely different problem. And ultimately, that was the undoing to my Vampire LARP days, was that it was an open invitation game. Were I to ever attempt something like that, it would be invitation, possibly even a paid ticketed event, because I'm not having a bunch of putting up with whoever decides to show up, because my experience with it at the time was, for every great role player I had show up to give it a shot, I got 10 shitheads, and those 10 shitheads drove away the good player. So before it's too long, I was awash in shitheads.
I remember listening to it was a Hunter V5 podcast one time, and I think they focus more on like the feelings of the characters more than actually going out and like solving the problem and getting rid of the monsters. Whereas when I read through the first edition PDF of Hunter the Reckoning, it's like, this is who you are, this is your story, here's what you do, go out and get those monsters.
Yeah,
very different.
I just have not taken the Hunter. I have a copy of the book. I maybe even both books, the tabletop, but for some reason, I was already burned out and done with World of Darkness by the time Hunter and Demon came out. So I was like, I'm done with that. It felt like an afterthought. It felt like a cash grab to me. I recognize it's the most beloved game in retrospect. It's probably even more popular than Vampire itself, but not for me, I'm afraid. The World of Darkness is about playing the monsters. And
that's a fun stream idea I should do. Hunter runs Hunter.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a natural fit.
Yeah. I may have to do that. I just got to get the books. I have the PDFs, just not the books. I need to get the books.
Yes. Actually, that's the worst. Velma nails it. Vampire is full of too many wannabe theater kids and power gamers. And
that's D&D as well on top of that.
Well, yeah, and again, it's the having to put up with whoever shows up, because the wannabe theater kids are anathema to the rules, whereas the power gamers are anathema to the role playing and only care about the rules. So there's a constant conflict and tension between the two. A game where you could have fully one or the other would be actually much smoother. I wouldn't want nothing to do with the power gamer version of that, but like give me a troop of just theater kids and kick the power gamers to the curb, and I can probably make something good happen. The lead ratio, 1 good player to 10 shitty players. Yeah, I don't know. Does your tabletop experience resonate with that? What do you guys think? Is that what your experience in life is? For every good player, you got 10 shitty ones?
I think for
no, but there's always one shitty one. There's always one.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
The fun. I think for the most part, everybody else is fine. Like new, old, whatever, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. My experience has
there's always one.
Yeah, every group of 3 or 4 I ran, there's always that one player at the end that just reveals how shitty they were.
Yeah. Well, so there's a different degree of shitty too, and one of the things too that seemed to be part and parcel of the Vampire LARP scene was it seemed to bring out the worst behaviors in the players themselves. Very cliquish, very political, very backstabby and gossipy. And there was even one of the other games I participated in was part of a global organization, the One World by Night. And that was even worse. Very, very political organization. A lot of good people in there and stuff like that, but it got toxic in a really weird way, in my opinion.
So that's interesting, because technically that's part of Vampire, because it focuses heavily on like that political horror. But then in recent years, I know there's this thing they talk about like bleeding into the campaign, where how the campaign bleeds out in the real life, and and how people always talk about it. And I'm like, why are you letting things like at your table affect your real life day-to-day basis? I thought that was an interesting. That was such a weird concept to me, that something that you do at the table somehow affects your in real life.
You've never LARPed, have you?
No, I have not.
Okay, so here's the honest truth. LARPing is way more addictive than regular gaming. If you don't know what people mean when they talk about immersive role play, attend a LARP, because it becomes a completely different experience when you actually are acting out the part of your character. I don't say I walk over to somebody and say something. I walk over to somebody and say something. You're acting out the part. It changes completely. I did not actually learn how to role play until I started LARPing.
Now, but this is where what comes to the big thing for me is you have to separate the fiction from reality. Like, I could see myself going in there and being immersed with my character, but as soon as I leave that game, like, I'm back in reality. That's all behind me now. And now it's like everyone's trying to trying to combine the reality into the fiction or bring their fiction into reality these days. And that's the problem we're having as well.
In what way do you mean that? Because there are ways that is done and acceptable. Like a funny thing that happened in my vampire game at the time was one of the things that vampires can do is they feed blood to mortals and blood bond them and turn them into ghouls, which are like mortal servants. And they often do that to rich and powerful people and politicians, right? So one of the players was paying attention to local politics and said, hey, this woman is on the local city council. And I'm just playing around. I know it's just fictional and everything, but I'm going to make her my goal. I want her.
Yeah, that's where.
Right? Hold on.
Sorry.
Hold on. I hear you.
Sorry.
But the funny part was that he said that we were like, okay, no problem. We're not going to do anything weird because it's a real person you're talking about. But okay, yeah, in game she's your goal. Well, that person later went on to become the mayor of Cleveland. So we then played on that in the game of, okay, your goal then went on to become the mayor of Cleveland and your influence in the city politics is greater because of it. There's also, there's been tying in of real world events and stuff like that to game. And we've had the real world reflect things that have happened in our game.
Now, part of me does say, like, I would draw a line on lava, but then again, you just brought up a good point about real world being brought into the game, because literally, for Wraith the Oblivion, they literally had a supplement for that game that was based around the victims of the Holocaust. Like, it was a whole thing where, because of the Holocaust happening, the underworld is overflooded with all these souls, and they can't figure out what to do with them all. It's like a Hebrew Jewish name is what it's called. I forget the name of it at the top of my head, but it was a supplement for Wraith the Oblivion.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. I don't.
Let me look it up really quick.
All of the other games, as excellent as they are, and I would say that in every World of Darkness game, just like in every D&D edition, the real gem is the core book. Avoid all the supplemental crap. And you'll run the best possible game.
Yeah, it was called the Shoah, the Charnel Houses of Europe.
Yeah,
and
nothing in Wraith matters. Nothing in Wraith matters. That's for all the Wraith fans.
My mistake was when I tried to get into World of Darkness, I tried to get into Wraith the Oblivion first, because on paper, I like the idea of you die, but now you're back, and then you got the shadow following you, and you interact with the world in this undead state. That, on paper, to me, that sounded great. But then when I tried to play it, it all fell apart.
Yes. And that's one that I can say from experience. Yeah, I've seen players try to do that. For one thing, the world lore most of the time prevents it. Actually, they even explicitly made that a thing. Like, once you become a vampire, your soul is damaged and can't become a wraith afterwards. Kind of stuff, werewolves don't become wraiths when they die. Just normal humans do. So there's not that kind of crossover. The thing that's hardest about wraiths is they have the hardest time interacting with the real world. They're just not in it. They're insubstantial. So if you're playing in a game where everyone is a vampire and they're really there and they can talk to one another, and you're a ghost and no one can see you or talk to you, what's the point of playing that? So Wraith, all of the games were always designed to be played in isolation. They're not meant to be mixed. Also, I have tried that over the years. That does always fail. And especially it fails if they're playing the relative supernatural creatures right.
That's one thing I've always wanted to do, because that's why I got in the Wretched. That's where I got in the Wretched in the first place, especially when I got in the Wretched Darkness, is I wanted to have a city where you have a vampire clan, a werewolf clan, a mage clan, a hunter clan, and they're all like against each other and also having to work together at the same time for survival. That's what I wanted, and I wish World of Darkness would have done that. That would have been probably made a lot more interesting.
They really didn't design it that way. You'd be best off like honestly with Savage Worlds, or maybe
Savage Worlds.
Savage Worlds, Wretched doesn't, and that's where World of Darkness does shine. Is the rule sets are specifically built for you.
Wretched does have they do have like they have vampire and werewolf races and demon races as well. And then for like the mages and hunters, that's just a human with a class, basically, at that point.
Mm-hmm. Right. Is that Dan saying, I had fun in Jack's game, but then he passed it on to remaining storytellers and just rehashed old plot, and it eventually folded. Yeah. Actually, to be honest, it's a sad story. I'll tell you this saga real quick. We ran this game. It was called CBN. Ran it for about like a solid 5 years myself. We hosted it in our apartment, me and Velma. Dan was playing in it out all that time. And after a while, I just got burnt out because it was the same kind of crap over and over again. There were problems with it, stuff like that. And I finally said, all right, I'm going to take a break. You guys find another location to host the game, and I'll pass it off to the other storytellers. They, the guys who took it over, were involved in a real estate venture where they were buying and flipping houses. They bought themselves a house that they refurbished specifically just to host LARPs in. They then scheduled all these LARPs in it over and over again, and would charge attendance and stuff like that, and made it a game house. But eventually it just didn't prove to be sustainable, and they eventually folded. And sadly, after the games folded, the house got dug up by the FBI under suspicion of there being a body in the basement. Thankfully, no body was found in that basement, thankfully. But that's the kind of weird shit that happens in Cleveland. Like trying to obfuscate, and you're in a room full of people and crossing your arms to show you're hidden. Some players still cheat and try to disrupt the scene. Well, that is another problem. That becomes one of those things. Like anybody, I had was it Travis I was talking to that was big in the Nero, Travis Faulber, with the jousting supplement. In those games, in like Nero, they explicitly state, look, there's no magic that determines whether or not somebody's telling the truth, because the DMs can't enforce it. We don't know if that person is telling the truth. They could be lying to us too. We can't. That magic doesn't exist. Well, in Vampire, those powers exist where, I want to know if you're lying. It really loses the game. The game really loses something once people have a magic spell or a power where they go, well, I know whether or not you're lying to me. Loses a lot of intrigue. Well, one of the things that Dan is talking about is there's a power called obfuscate for vampires. And what it is it's a form of mental invisibility. You're not physically making yourself invisible. You're making people kind of mentally overlook you. And that's the way the power works in the game world. So, like, and the way it used to be run all the time was like vampires will show up on cameras and stuff like that. But people watching cameras at the time they're walking by will still not notice them. Right. So, but they'll see them if they go back, if they rewind and look at the footage later, and they'll be like, wait a minute, I was there and watching that. I didn't see this guy. How is he there? It's a mental invisibility. Well, in the LARP game, that's very easy to control in a tabletop setting. In the LARP game, you accomplish that through these hand signals. And in that one, you cross your arms like this. When you see a player in the LARP game making this gesture, they just cross their arms over their chest. You're supposed to pretend that they're invisible, right? And good players do things like, oh, shoot, I was about to spill my guts about this secret plan. Oh, but now I'm not going to say nothing because I know this guy's over here. No, a good player continues on and spills the guts and lets that consequence out in the world. Like that, there is a degree of sportsmanship that's required in these games where you have to take the loss gracefully. Like sometimes losing is more fun than the winning. And that's something that gets lost all the time, especially in Vampire.
Like what I was mentioning earlier, my my halfling tavern wench Viking, and how she died was we went to the ziggurat, but that apparently there was this demonic power coming from. But the ziggurat was guarded by these giants, and these giants ambushed us. And every time we tried to do something, these giants had maneuvers where they could just club us. And because I'm a Viking, I basically had these modes where I kept on going down. I got up. I went down. I got up. But my party was trying to
I was going to say, Chubby, that also explains Jack, you know.
So my party was trying to get up to the ziggurats. I'm kind of providing defense because I'm dealing damage. But we all know, like, okay, I know that if anyone moves, these giants will attack. So I just say I move to attack, and I take the hits from the giants while my party goes up to the ziggurat to try to figure out this what demonic stuff is happening. And my character, and she didn't die immediately, but on the way back, because I basically fell unconscious, they couldn't really do anything to revive me at the moment. I ended up dying on the way back home. So my character basically, but that's kind of like, so yeah, I lost my character, but the way that I lost her was just kind of a very memorable moment that even, like I said, it's like still sticks with me, obviously.
Right.
Cleveland is actually the intersection of 6 ley lines, and that explains all the demonic magic. Totally true. No lie, I once waited on a serial killer at the gas station. And much to my shock, he got busted a year or two later, and they dug up 12 women's bodies from his basement. And I remembered the dude because I refused to use a credit card that wasn't under his name, and he gave me a look like he wanted to kill me. It was one of the few times I was actually creeped out by a customer giving me the stink eye.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy. So then Anthony Soul, yeah, that's who it was. I swear I waited on the dude. And what a creepy motherfucker he was.
Yeah, my gal knew the Green River Killer. Like he was like a painter, and she was like the receptionist at the painters hall or something, and said real creepy vibes and whatever. And she didn't like it when he'd come in, but nothing ever happened. And now we live right on the Green River. So that's where the river pictures are from lately.
And now on this,
it's walking distance.
Also on this comment, for those of you who were Buffy fans, you'll remember that Cleveland is the location of another Hellmouth. I think they knew what they were saying.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, we are at the 2-minute mark. What are your closing thoughts?
Oh, I don't know. I have all sorts of games coming up. I'm going to be busy. Now I've got Gobstein coming. We've got Dropship on the 13th. The CNC game on Saturdays I'm supposed to get invited into. Yeah. Your game I got to try to make it into.
Yeah.
A Traveler game we just rolled a character up for the other night.
Well, I'm very pleased that you're so busy with gaming after that disturbing revelation you dropped on Twitter recently.
Right. Yeah, I still don't really play.
And you do know I've got, serious cred in the Castles and Crusades world, so I expect you to represent me well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm excited for that game. When Jeremy gets back, I should get the invite. It's the Crafty DM. And I played in one game with him of Conan on Jeremy's channel. And he was fun to play with, but then we did an interview with him, and I didn't realize I knew him at first, that's who I'd been playing with. But it sounds like he runs a super, super fun Castles and Crusades game. So I'm excited for that.
It's awesome stuff. One of my favorite features of Castles and Crusades is that you can use the old 1st and 2nd edition modules with virtually no modification. That's one of my dreams is that when my next Castles and Crusades, I actually want to pull all my old modules off the shelf and build the campaign out of that.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, and this guy actually runs everything in Greyhawk, so that'll be interesting.
Greyhawk is way cool. All right, Hunter, any closing thoughts from you, my good man?
Well, I'm really looking forward to being a part of this Gobstein II. That's something I'm really looking forward to, especially because it's Horde Wars. I'm kind of starting to get out of that burnout phase I have been in for a while, so I'm probably going to start recording a lot of my solo play stuff. I'm wanting to get back to my Bordeaux Bastards Gangster RP that I've been doing on and off. So I want to try to get that knocked out and then get back into my Wasteland Chronicles, my Fantasy Zombie Apocalypse I was running. My City and Mist campaign I've been running monthly for about 3 years now. We're going to probably end up closing that campaign out after a couple more sessions in a few months. And then we're going to probably move on to a different game, and we're talking Cyberpunk. So I may run Cities Without Numbers for them because I refuse to do Cyberpunk Red or Pathfinder because of how crunchy those games can get sometimes. And also, I have no love for Paizo at all on top of that, so that's why no Pathfinder General for me. But
yet another, Yet another reason.
Cities Without Number. I love Kevin Crawford's stuff. It's an easy D20 system for me to understand to be able to run. So I may introduce that to them because I had this idea of a cyber steed, so a cyberpunk bronze steed, to where they could control like the gang factions in the cyberpunk dystopia.
Yeah, that would be perfect. That's a perfect fact. That corporations are natural factions, street gangs are natural factions, nomad families are natural. Each of the roles has a natural faction built into it. I love that idea. Yeah. Also, with Chubby Funster with our last comment, good luck with Gobstein II. I am writing a book, making YouTube videos, moving to a new state, and going to NTX. My dance card is full at the moment. I'm so glad to hear you're ready to volunteer, Chubby. I'll be sending you the details as we get them hammered out.
One more quick thing I just remembered that I forgot that I'm doing. Here in North. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
We actually do have a local con here in Northwest Arkansas. It's called Adventure Con that takes place in Rogers, and I will be running all weekend. I'll be running the Dracula in Space module from Bears of Borderlands, which is a science fantasy white box.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to be running that all weekend for people. So if you're in Northwest Arkansas and you see a thing for Adventure Con and you're able to get out here, look me up.
Barrows in Borderlands. That's Matt Tapp, if I remember correctly.
Yep, that's Matthew Tapp.
Yeah, that's
okay, great.
Yep,
got to have him on the show soon too. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me this evening. I wish the Pun King could have gotten through and got some more zingers in there.
We got 6 puns total from him this stream. I kept count.
6. He's slacking. They were good ones though.
I like her alone. All right.
I like the I wish you were here.